If if you take an L and you're not taking anything from it, it's a useless L. Like people think that this thing here is very difficult. But when I first announced this thing, I'm telling you, this just came from a voice message. The whole idea of Uncle just came from a voice message. A lot of things in my life, I depend on God.
God is big.
Is that a leap of faith I'm taking? Because how do I know this will be successful? How would I know because when I started, I didn't have any plan. I didn't have any plan. I didn't know that, I would reach here. I would
Hello, welcome back. My name is Tristan and I'm joined here with
Selikem Attah.
And we are here to empower you to elevate your lives. We're about to talk about a lot of beautiful topics. TYC, who is Selikem, what he's working on.
Exactly.
So, stay tuned and enjoy the show. First question out for you. Who is Selikem?
A deep question. First question. Wow, okay. I feel like, Selikem, I'm going to speak in a third person.
Yeah.
So Selikem is someone who puts himself out there a lot. Does different stuff. I feel like I'm optimistic.
Okay.
But that's me. I personally feel like that's a bad and a good thing. Because being optimistic, you would get disappointed a lot. Because you see the good in everything. You always see the success in something.
Yeah.
But not everything will be successful. Because I feel like God is leading you to a certain path.
Okay.
So even if you put your faith in something, it might not work.
Okay.
So you might catch an L. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how God directs you to a certain thing. So I feel like Selikem is someone who does a lot. He puts himself out there. He does this, he does that, he does that. And
So Selikem is an optimist.
Selikem is an optimist.
How you feel about a realist?
Pardon?
People say that they are realists.
Nah, I'm not a realist. I know this sounds corny a little, but I believe in fate.
Okay.
If somebody is meant to do something.
Yeah.
And if somebody's meant to do something, how can it go wrong?
Okay.
So in anything I do, I feel like I'm meant to do that thing.
Okay.
That's why I'm an optimist.
Okay.
Listen, this time I'm doing it.
I'm meant to do it.
I'm meant to do it. It's going to be successful.
Okay.
But sometimes when it doesn't work,
it doesn't work.
Yeah, I try everything. So I'm a trier. Or something. That's a way I'm a trier. Yeah.
So what's your approach? Because you're an optimist and you go through all these things, you look forward to the best scenario. Yeah. But there are obviously times where it doesn't go in your way.
Exactly.
So how do you deal with it?
How do I deal with it? I feel like, so basically this is what I do. When you catch an L or when something doesn't work, again, I believe in fate. Okay. So maybe I'm like, okay, this is just God trying to direct me in a different direction.
Okay.
So maybe I'm like, okay, this loss that I've taken is God's way of directing me to a W.
Okay.
So this is not like a useless L. Okay. This is something I'm going to use to better myself. That's just how I take my losses or my defeats or something. Okay. It's useful.
Okay.
It's not something that just happens. It's very useful. I need it.
You need
what am I going to take from it? If you take an L and you're not taking anything from it, it's a useless L. I don't know how to explain it. It's like an L that just happened to you get it.
Yeah, I see that.
And I don't like that. How can something happen to me that there's nothing good out of it? I will not take it. So that's how I take my L's. Okay. Basically.
Okay. Yeah. So in your whole introduction to who is Selikem, you mentioned something, TYC.
TYC, exactly.
Expand on it for us.
Okay. So, TYC, the Young Creatives, it's an initiative that I'm doing here to kind of showcase and promote creatives, youth in the creative scene. Okay. Because I feel like the creative scene in Ghana has very huge potential. Okay. It has a big potential. And the youth, we are the future. Yeah. We're the future. So if I could create this safe haven for the youth to be free in that creativity, to showcase that creativity, to meet other creatives where they can easily collaborate and reach new levels of creativity. You can push that boundary in creativity in Ghana. That's the aim of the Young Creatives, to push that boundary with the youth. So making a
that's kind of what inspired you to do it.
Exactly.
Seeing all these things. Exactly. So how did you start the TYC?
I'm going way back.
Go. We are out here.
Basically, I was about to go to A-level. A-level, and college applications were coming out. And I realized I was lacking in like extracurricular activities.
Okay.
So like I tried everything. You know what I said? As I said earlier, I do everything. Like I try everything.
Okay.
So I did everything. I did this public speaking competitions. I ran for head boy. I went to do like science exhibitions and stuff. I did everything.
Yeah.
So like I wanted to. So there was this event going on called the Vintage Gala.
Oh, okay.
So,
I've heard of it.
So I wanted to sell some clothes.
Okay.
Right. With the aim of promoting stop fast fashion. Like stop like because fast fashion, this like when these clothing outlets, right, they produce shirts or garments, right? Like that's not quality. You can wear it twice, 3 times a day, 3 times, right? And it's already worn out.
Yeah.
So people mostly throw it away and it's not biodegradable. Yeah, so like it's not good for the world. Like people throw it away a lot. So there's this idea of thrift where like you wear already worn shirts, like shirts that are worn but like they're really good quality and they're very valuable.
Okay.
So the Vintage Gala sells a lot of vintage shirts and stuff. So I wanted to sell some vintage shirts, like promoting aim of stop fast fashion.
Okay.
So that day I had a public speaking competition.
Hey, so how do you do it?
Exactly. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Okay. So I was like, okay, what is stopping me from doing an event? Not just selling. Exactly. Okay. So like that L that I got from not selling, not selling my stuff, I tend to adopt it by doing my own event. Okay. Because I couldn't sell.
Okay.
So I hit them up and I was like, yo, I couldn't come and sell my stuff, but I have this idea. Let's do an event with the whole aim being like to promote the message of stop fast fashion.
Okay.
So we did our event, the stop fast fashion events. It was all of my extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
So like, I realized that I really liked this, like doing these events, like doing stuff that's more drawn into the creative scene. So I was like, you know what, like, let me keep on doing this because I really like it. So yeah. So that's how
it started.
That's how the whole like creative stuff started.
Okay. And the name TYC, how did it come about?
So basically after the Vintage Gala, my friend came to me and he was like, he likes it when like he was congratulating me saying that yo, like the Vintage Gala was mad. Vintage Gala like Selikem was crazy. He was like, he loves it when young creatives come together and they do these project successfully. They love when young guys like, young creatives. I was like, I could do something. Because after the Venus Gala, I wanted to do more. I was looking for ideas everywhere, like, what should I do? What should I do?
Yeah.
Then he just sends that voice message, like he likes when young creatives come together and do something mad. I was like, young creatives.
Yeah, you can see that. It's like the destiny.
Like, cool, young creative. I'm going like, so I started planning, like, what's next? What should I do? What should I do? This. And I was like, I'm here now. It was crazy. It was crazy because I had like, just from one word, young creatives.
Yeah.
So I guess from later.
The young creatives. That's great. Yeah. So all of this came from you just DMing.
Like one person, he just like congratulated me one day saying that he loves when like young creatives come together. I was like,
that's crazy.
Because the original name was Young Creatives or just Young Creatives. I was like, oh, let me just add there.
Okay.
There sounds nice.
Yeah, so the Young Creatives. The
name was literally what he said.
Yeah. So shout out to that first.
Shout out to that guy. I won't be here without him. Yeah.
So one thing that I realized from your story was that despite the fact you not having to go to the place, you still reached out to the vintage people. And that's one thing I see a lot of people struggling with is stepping out of their comfort zone to reach out because they don't want to be rejected. So how would you comment on that?
Okay, my friends tell me this a lot, that like I'm too in the moment. That's a bad and a good thing. But like, okay, when I get this idea, I don't know what's wrong with me. When I get this idea, I get overly excited. Okay. I'm like, no, I have to do it. I will not take no for an answer. I have to do it. Yeah. So like, cause anytime an idea comes to my mind, I always think about the success, like a successful part, because I'm an optimist. Exactly. Yeah. The successful part. And I was like, cool. No, that's gonna be a success. I have to do it. Like it's in my mind the whole time. So I hit them up. That's why. So like, the vision is what motivated me. Me being an optimist is what motivated me to like hit them up and like, I was like, I could get somewhere with this. Yeah, that's why I hit them up. Like, that's what pushes me to do it.
Okay. So for those people who are feeling a little bit shy to go and step out the comfort zone.
Exactly. Like, think about the success. Like, think about what you can get. Be an optimist. Think about the bright side. Let it motivate you and excite you to jump, to take the leap of faith.
Okay, so you're motivated by the vision. Exactly. And that's what pushes you to go forward. Exactly. Okay, that's crazy. So by the time you're watching this video, his event that he's doing on Saturday is already happened. But for the sake of it, the events, just let us know what's going on, your process and developing it, everything.
So like, okay, so it's a pop-up. It's like, it involves different brands, like around 12 brands.
Okay.
Just selling their stuff. 12 young creatives just selling their that digital arts, their clothes and stuff, like the own clothing brands and selling it. And yeah, there'll be different activities people can come and meet. You see your favorite clothing brands selling that stuff.
Any shout outs, anything that everybody wants to come and mention? Any shout outs, any brands that you like and you want to say?
Like, Andromeda, Broken Child, NK, these young creative just coming like in Nigeria, like all of them will come here.
Yeah,
your favorite brands, they're all there. Yeah, exactly.
This whole process. I know setting up a pop-up, like thinking about it alone, the amount of logistics, the amount of planning, the amount of things that go into it. It's like, dude,
like how? When I tell you that this thing is just God, like people think that, this thing here, like it's very difficult. But when I first announced this thing, I'm telling you, this just came from a voice message. The whole idea of Uncle just came from a voice message. But I didn't even there wasn't any like logistics in my mind when I did this thing. Like, it was so let me just tell the whole story. I announced it on my birthday. Young kids on my birthday. Mind you, I had no idea how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get the money to do it. I had no idea. But I'm just like, I'm an optimist. Like, imagine this didn't even go, like, imagine this didn't even go well.
Yeah.
Go, but like, now I was like, like, what if it just went well? Okay. So I just posted it, the announcement, but I didn't have any idea how I'm going to do it. So like, it was a lot of improvising. Improvising, like, as I was doing, I was like, what if I just do it this way? What if I do this? People like it when I do this. Let me continue doing it. Because, that was how I felt, like, improvising, and that's how I started. There are two quotes that come to mind when I'm thinking about this, whatever is going on. The first one, it is actually, my mother is telling me this. She used to tell me this all the time, that you don't need to be great to start, but you need to start to be great. Exactly.
So I feel like that's what you did.
Exactly.
You had to just start, even though you didn't have anything in plan, you didn't have anything in mind. The fact that you just created, you just started like that. I think that's a step that a lot of people have to try and take, It's a necessity.
You don't really have to know everything to start something.
Okay.
You don't really have to like get everything planned out.
Okay.
When I first started, it was just whack one post. And I was like, what if I do this video thing? People love that. And I did it. People loved it. And I let me just, let me just do this. I saw this idea on Pinterest.
Yeah.
Let me just like add it. Let me just like incorporate it to the young creatives. And it was like,
it turned out really nice.
Crazy. Like, the inspo, just inspo, like, sometimes I just send to Pinterest.
Yeah.
I'll see this idea. And I have to do it. Sometimes I'll see this video on YouTube. This month, I have to do it. That's just literally how every content on the young creative, like the Instagram, that's how it was brought up.
That's cool. On Pinterest, like it looked planned, though. It looked planned, like you planned it.
It was not. It was not. And the thing is that, like there's that fear in my head. What if it doesn't?
Yeah.
But the voice in my head telling me what if it does is way mightier. Like that's why I just keep doing what I do.
Okay.
What if it does? Like, people like you, this exciting.
That even comes to that quote, the second quote. This one, I don't know who said it, but it is, for he who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow.
Yeah.
Having that why that's here, that you have.
Exactly.
So anything that came your way, you're able to handle it.
Exactly.
Okay. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Yeah. Another thing, you mentioned A-levels. You mentioned that means that you were in school at that time. So how did you balance school? And how did you do the TYC stuff?
Bro, I'm telling you, burnout. Like, sometimes, bro, it's just, so I was writing my A-levels here. So I took a big break. I took a huge break. But I immediately started the Young Creatives after I finished my A-levels, like literally a day.
Yeah.
So, I was doing the Young Creative. This was before the A-levels when I announced it. But like, there was no content in the Instagram for a very long time because I was my A-levels.
Okay.
But literally a day after, I shot a video, some ad. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Like, it's because I did a young creative survey.
Yeah.
Right? So I did an ad to like advertise a survey.
Okay.
So I was planning that survey like whilst I was writing my A-level. So I called this dude I know, like he's a videographer.
Yeah.
To come actually a day after. To come and shoot the video. Because I had a video, I had the idea all in my mind. I had everything in my mind. I was like, no, let me just do this. Let the video be like this structure, you know. Let me like run downstairs, then I'll open the bag and but like that's just like
I do that, yeah.
Exactly. And that's like that was in the video. So but like this was my biggest challenge, burnout. Burnout, like I easily get burnt out. Like I easily get like exhausted. You know, like and I feel like that also affects my health sometimes.
Okay.
So after I do something big, you just see me on my bed for like days. Tired. Because bro, like I get mentally exhausted. I feel like this optimism, this excitement, it takes energy. Like after my A-levels, literally a day after I finished my A-levels, the videographers came like 7 a.m. That's when I shot the video. The ad. That's when I shot the ad. But I'm telling you, after that, bro, I was so like exhausted. But I was so exhausted.
If you're just tired, people ask.
Like, I was so exhausted after that video. So like burnout is like burnout is my biggest issue so far.
If people would ask you this question, you have burnout, you suffer from burnout.
Yeah.
Why do you still continue going?
Because bro, burnout is temporary. Like it's temporary. You know, like it's like allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to rest. And I'll be really honest. I'll be honest. During that burnout, I was not motivated at all. In my head, I don't know whether it's God, but I just keep saying it. I feel like I'm supposed to do this young creative. Because again, I believe in fate. I believe in destiny. I know it's kind of corny. But I feel like there was something like pushing me that Selikem, you have to do it. So you have to do it. Even if I wasn't like motivated, I was like, Charlie, I've already announced this thing. I have to do it. So I was like, Charlie, you know,
so that's
even though it's temporary, and just keep on doing it. Just keep on doing it. That's what pushed me.
So the main way that you reached out and you created the fan base was through social media. Right. It was through social media. That's how you spread the word, and that's how you get excited. So any tips for people who want to start and they want to go into social media and trying to grow their page, try to grow a following? How did you do it?
Go for it. Don't look at someone's Instagram or someone's social media platform and try to copy them. Do it your own image. Do what is true to you. Do what is because if you see my Instagram bio, it actually says on my terms. What I'm trying to like say is that it's on my terms. Whatever I do is on my terms.
Yeah, I see that.
If I want to do this event or do this thing, it's my terms. I don't have to ask anyone. I don't have to copy anyone. I don't have to be like anyone. It's literally what I feel like is valid. What I feel like is valid. That's what I do. So don't try and look at someone else's social media platform and try to copy them. Do it in your own terms. Do it in your own way. If it's best.
I'm with that. So be your own. Create your own path.
Be your own self. Like create your own world. You know, like don't live in someone else's world. Create your own.
Okay. So people would say, I'm thinking about it right now. So obviously finding inspiration is something that's there, and then also doing your own thing. So my question is, how did you find inspiration? Who inspired you to do it? And then how did you distinguish between being inspired and then following in their footsteps? How do you differentiate those two things?
Wow, okay. So something like inspo, but there's plenty. Like, I feel like it depends on what you like. So if there's this type of, if there's this type of aesthetic that you like, go and look at those, like, go to like Pinterest and type that aesthetic out and see different ideas. And that different ideas will like motivate you and give you like inspiration on what to do. And also that thing about whether and how do you differentiate it from inspo or copying. Well, what I believe, is that if you want to copy someone, do it. Copy the person. Just know you have to do it better.
Yeah.
You listen like this person is doing something. I want to do the same thing, but he's already doing that thing. I'll do the same thing, but I'll just do it better.
Okay. Do
it better.
I
So
see that.
if you see an idea that you like, just know that, like, you know, if you do it that same level, people will come to you and be like, you're copying you, or just do it better. Like have a side in your mind that I'm going to do what he's doing, but I'm just going to do it better. I see some fault in what he's doing.
Yeah.
So like, I'm going to do it, but without those faults, I'm going to like seal all the cracks. I'll do it better than him.
Yeah.
I'll like an improved version of what he's doing.
Okay, I see that.
About the inspo, you go to the aesthetic you like, look to you. Your bum is going to get some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Put it down, apply it to whatever you want to apply it to.
Yeah.
And even if it's copying someone, go for it. Copy the person, bro. Copy the person.
That's how it is.
If you've not found your own self, copy the person, you eventually find yourself. Copy the person, Charlie. Don't let that go. Just do it better than
you eventually find yourself. That's it. Okay, I see that. Right. Okay, so you mentioned, what do you call it? Burnout. As a challenge that you faced in the creation of TYC and even in the pop-up events. So my question to you is, are there any other challenges that you have faced? Any other things? And then how did you overcome that challenge?
So I feel like in almost anything you do, there's moments, there's a voice in your head that like doubts what you do.
Okay.
Like, okay, what if it fails? What if it doesn't do well? What if this? So that was like my other challenge. Because I was like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. What if like some mistake comes up and just spoils everything? I know I said I'm an optimist, but that voice is also in my head too. What if this is like, that was also my biggest challenge. And how did I overcome it? I just kept on going. Had faith. That's like, let's pray none of this happens, let's have faith. And so far, it's going great. So I feel like this is like where God is leading me. A lot of things in my life, I depend on God. Like,
God is big.
It's that leap of faith I'm taking. Because how do I know this will be successful? How would I know because like when I started, I didn't have any plan. I didn't have any plan. I didn't know that, I would reach here. I would like everything, like literally the events tomorrow. Yeah. I told myself, during March. I was so unsure that this event will actually happen. During March, like I was like, Charlie, this thing, like, how am I going to get the money from? How am I going to get a place? Because during March, a friend and I were looking for locations, like different locations. Okay. Like I was getting no's, like no.
How many?
I went to like 3 locations, and I was like, like how come nobody is?
Nobody wants
to do it. So I was like, okay, let me just hit up one more location. And thankfully they said
that's crazy.
Thankfully, bro.
That's crazy.
Thankfully, because if I never got a location, Charlie, I just called up this person. He said yes. Like I did not know that I would be here. So it's the leap of faith.
I see 2 things. See, one, the faith in God. That's important and that's big. So to you guys listening, God is good, bro.
No, God, this won't happen. I see that. I just told myself like, hey, Charlie, if this thing happens, at this point, it's God. Like this thing actually, because when I said I did not have a plan, I did not have a budget, I did not have anything.
Yeah,
bro. Like even the fear is still there little for tomorrow. I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
It's coming out.
Like I've done this before. Okay. And I know how it's supposed to be. Yeah. And it's like, okay, like it's following the correct procedures. But without God.
So I said that without God. And another thing too you have to see is perseverance. That's pushing through even though all the no's. So to you guys that are watching this, perseverance is important. Because without perseverance, he will not be here and he'll not be able to do the things that he's doing right now.
And I pray that I just keep on going and I just keep on.
I see that. So we've talked about some of the challenges that you face. Now, what are some of the things that you feel like you have gained throughout this process?
More experience and more skills to do this in a bigger scale. Before this event, I didn't know what were like little complications that will come up from doing a pop-up or from reaching out to different creatives and telling them the idea. But now I feel like I've gotten more experience in those stuff, and doing future things would be easier. And also another thing, I now know, I don't know, but I now have a clear image of what I want to keep doing. So, I did a first pop-up. I was like, I like this thing. I like it. I'm now doing another pop-up. And it's like, okay, now I am going to keep on doing this.
Yeah.
You get it? It's like a clear image on what I'm going to do in the future. Yeah, like
something
that's
else.
what
I'm not sure that's what. So unfortunately, Charlie, their time is.
I really want, like, this thing is very, like, it's my first time doing this.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I mean, like, what, 30 minutes? Just feel like, what, 10 minutes?
Time has passed.
Yeah,
time has passed. We'll definitely have you back on the show. We'll definitely do that. So we'll definitely do all that.
Yeah.
So final thing before we close off this episode. Advice. Any advice that you give people who are now starting? What would you tell them?
Take the leap of faith. Like, take it. You might think that it might not work or it might fail. Just, like, pray to God. Read your Bible, pray to God. Like, tell him to direct you. Like, just take the leap of faith.
Yeah.
Take the leap of faith.
Okay.
Just be led by faith.
Okay. Thank you very much, Selikem, for coming on the show. Thank you very much. To everybody who's watching, make sure you follow Selikem to see what he's up to.
Follow the young creatives.
Young creatives as well. Make sure you follow them. I'll plug their stuff. You see there, everything that's here. Yeah. Make sure you follow them. If you also enjoy whatever it is that's going on here, if you enjoy the mission that you're on, make sure you follow your boy.
Subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe as well. Make sure you follow. You can follow me on social, see the behind the scenes. And then, without further ado, I believe in you. We believe in you. Go and make the world a better place. Don't just live life, but thrive. That's it. We close.